So today I'm reviewing the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro, and I wanted to take my time with these smartphones. But I am going to start this video off with the rant because I can't stand the design of the Pixel 6 Pro. Not so much the look, but it's the feel. Like, why are we using curved edges on smartphones in 2021? And it's not like this is a slight curve, which it's still manageable. This curve is deep. It reminds me of the Galaxy S6. I'd be typing something and then I get a little too close to the edge. I have to be more precise. Or if I'm like moving around in an email with my finger, trying to like place it between two letters, it would take such precision, plus the fact that Google doesn't have the refinement of a Galaxy device or an iPhone. So when you get to these edges, there's a bit of refractiveness. Like the screen spills over and it looks a little bit warped, which I don't like to see. I understand it looks visually appealing, but it's just not practical. So stop doing that. On top of that, it's a good phone to hold. You know, I understand from a height standpoint, it's just as big as the iPhone 13 Pro Max, but the width is less, making it easier to hold in your hand. It's super slippery. And like, this is a good time to place a case on your phone. Dbrand has some fantastic stuff that I think you guys should check out. And if you decide to choose a black version of the phone, just note that it does show fingerprints and dust quite a bit more. This little pixel bump, or camera bump rather, is like a little space for dust to collect. And because this is black, it's significantly easier to see. You get a light color like the white or even this yellow, which I think looks super classy. You can still see dust on the lens, but it's almost imperceivable around the edges. On top of that, this fingerprint scanner, which is perceivably worse on the Pixel 6 Pro, is awful. Not only is it slow, but sometimes I'd have to like tap on it multiple times to get in to my smartphone. This stuff has been around for a long time. I did find it a little bit easier on the regular Pixel 6 just because of the flatter display, but it still should be faster than it is today. And one last thing that I don't like, I really don't like. What is up with this case? You look at it, you see like a clear silicone case, which is fine. A lot of companies have it, but the edges around the case are super soft. And when you have it in your smartphone, you'll be like holding your device and it just feels really squishy. Like it makes it feel super, super cheap, especially around like the volume rocker, which by the way is a very clicky volume rocker, like very tactile, great to press, but you put this case on it and it's very squishy and it comes off quite easily. With that rant out of the way, I love these phones. In fact, this is my favorite Android device of the year. Not the Pixel 6 Pro, but the Pixel 6. For $599, you're getting such a great experience combined with some new stuff that we've never seen on a smartphone before. For example, I tend to use a lot of voice assistants. Sometimes I use it with Siri, sometimes I use it with Google. Google has always been faster and does a better job of recognizing what you're saying. The Google Assistant on this is futuristic. Like, it's so fast that it basically processes what I want it to process before I even finish my sentence. This is something I did not expect to see for another 5 or 6 years. And when you combine this with Android 12, specifically Google's implementation of it on the Pixel, it's beautiful. Like, honestly, I like to not use my phone as much as possible, but I felt myself constantly wanting to pick up the Pixel 6 all the time. Like Android 12, the way it looks with the menus, the way the colors pop, the way they're vibrant, there's better privacy features. We finally have a proper one-handed mode on the device. It feels fast and smooth. The menus are nice and visible. The fonts look good. Hands down, I love using Android 12 more than I do iOS 15. And one thing I was concerned about was the high refresh rate, because this one got 90 Hertz and the 6 Pro got 120. I'm fine with 90. You know, like 120 Hertz, slightly more perceivable in terms of smoothness, but not enough to be like, okay, I have to have 120. The other thing I don't think you should worry about is the pixel density. I know on the 6 Pro you get a higher res display. It's QHD, whereas the Pixel 6 is 1080p, but you're not going to be able to perceive the difference. Maybe I'm getting too old and I can't see with my eyes, but the text on this display looks just as sharp as the text on the Pixel 6 Pro. The other thing is the camera quality. The Pixel 6 comes with an 8 megapixel camera, whereas on the Pixel 6 Pro, you get 11. You can go a little bit wider and the photos tend to look a bit sharper, but again, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Where it does become a big deal is if you're using the camera, right? You get one extra sensor on the Pixel 6 Pro. They both have a 58 megapixel wide lens, but the Pro gets a 48 megapixel telephoto lens. You get to zoom up to 4 times. And quite frankly, I love the telephoto lens on the 6 Pro. It actually does a better job than the telephoto lens on the iPhone 13 Pro. The ultra wide lens on both of these guys, which are 12 megapixels, don't look that great. I think they need to do some fine tuning with the ultra wide. Now straight up, I'm not gonna go too crazy in detail with the camera, but the bottom line is it still takes amazing photos. Some of the best I've seen on a smartphone. The consistency is not as adequate as it was on the previous Pixels. Like sometimes I get something I didn't expect, but overall, still one of the best smartphone cameras out there. Video has improved, but I do find it to be a little bit too sharp. You know, like whenever you move the camera, there's like I don't know if it's a moire effect, but you can see the pixels transition and it doesn't look as clean as the video on an iPhone 13. I think it's a big improvement from previous Pixels, but the iPhone will still remain the video king. But the one thing that truly impressed me was what some people would call gimmicky features. Like the magic eraser, pretty cool stuff. You know, not everyone has Photoshop. Not everyone is a Photoshop user and can go in there and do it themselves, but being able to do that on your smartphone is kind of nice. Even other things like the motion feature where you take a picture of a moving object and it blurs the backgrounds behind it. Like that kind of stuff usually requires a very expensive camera. And yes, it's not gonna look as good as an expensive camera, but for a smartphone, it looks great. Now, one thing I don't understand is some reviewers, not all, but there are some that have a very terrible experience when it comes to battery life. My experience has been the total opposite. Like I'm getting anywhere from 6.5 to 7 hours of use with both of these devices. Like I can easily get through an entire day and still have anywhere from 30 to 40% battery life left, which is not as good as an iPhone 13 Pro Max, but it's still very good for a smartphone. As for speakers, they sound fantastic. I still think the iPhone and the Galaxy has better speakers, but these are right up there. Now, performance is interesting because if you do a Geekbench test, you can see that these processors are fairly fast. They don't beat out the Snapdragon 888, but they come pretty close. And I think we're at the point right now where this stuff really doesn't matter at all. The hardware we're using in our phones today is so good. And the fact that Google now has the opportunity to use their own built-in hardware to vertically integrate with the software, what you can expect is a smooth experience. One thing that really interested me though was the flashlight on the back. These are some of the brightest flashlights I've seen on a phone. Like I was comparing it to my iPhone 13 Pro and I was like, wow, like this is like a really good flashlight. Now personally, I will never use the Pixel 6 Pro. I really don't like curved edges this steep. And when you combine that with the slippery experience, it's just not my thing. But it's super subjective, right? Like you guys might not feel the way I do, and I'm not here to judge you, okay? We're never gonna agree on everything, and that's fine. That's the beauty of this channel. We get to have an open discussion. But the thing is, this Pixel 6 Pro is still priced very competitively. $899 is a good price when you consider the price of other flagship phones out there. But do I think it's worth $300 more over the Pixel 6? Absolutely not. For $599, you're getting such a great experience with similar hardware. The only thing you're truly losing is the slightly bigger display, 30 hertz more for the refresh rate, which I don't think makes that big of a difference going from 90 to 120. Yes, you get a slightly better front-facing camera and a few more gigabytes of RAM, but I don't think it's worth $300 more. Either way, they're both great deals, but if I had to choose one, I'd say go for the Pixel 6. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.